Hello Tactician, and once again welcome to the Mythic Journey series. Today's theoretical was asked for by your fellow viewer, a Cdublez or maybe Cdublez, so if it helps or entertains you, he's at least partially to blame. And apparently he's been having problems with beating Azrael's journey, which, after looking at the missions, I can understand. Let's see if I can pull it off properly with my Bronze 1 Azrael. Mission 1. Defeat 8 enemies with Azrael in one turn. The active ability is the way to go here, as it can potentially hit yes enemies and trigger battle fatigues as a bonus. And Mirror Octarius 44 is a perfect stage to line up enough weak enemies reliably. Azrael's first Mythic Journey mission supposedly needs him to defeat 8 enemies in one turn, and I think that the Mirror Octarius 44 stage is perfect for this. Because as you may remember from my Vitruvius's Mythic Journey, the east file, to use chess terminology, is well, kinda long and can fit a whole lot of grots. So if I position like this with a healer and Azrael and clear out all the grots in the north except ones in the east file, and if I somehow manage to work around Azrael's overwatch, which I didn't account for, so I may actually have to bait them onto the Nicodemus. But that should also be manageable. Okay, good, now they are blocked off. There, get Azrael a bit further. I'm gonna block off this path now. Maybe like this. Keep whacking the grots that try to escape. Alright, they want to hit the low ground and not. Okay, never mind, I'm gonna do it again. There, this is getting a bit blocked off. There. Perfect. Now I can swap Nicodemus and Azrael and avoid the battle fatigues. And best start moving back to the north. There. There. Okay, good. There, I think that's this solved. So now I just need the grots to multiply all the way to the virus hex, which they just did, and now it's time for Azrael's active. Goodbye, little shits. And time to clear the mission. And that should be the mission done. Mission 2. Deal 10,000 damage with Azrael in one turn. There are two approaches to this mission. With a leveled up Asmodai, you can theoretically try to complete it using his active by lining up elite Galgords and 6 Grots, or more rationally, wait for an LRE stage with big enough enemies. Grots or Poxwalkers are probably the best targets, because they have no armor for the bolter hits to not chew through, or random demon block to get eaten by. With an anemic Azrael such as mine, your best bet probably is a full support team with Calgar, Eldrion, Trajan, and Thoriad, or maybe Vitruvius if you find an enemy big enough to remain over 10,000 HP after Vitruvius debuffs it, in a guild raid or an arena. Asmodai can also be useful, because he can give your Azrael a whole new attack against a Chaos unit, making it so that you don't actually need one beefy enemy. The second Azrael's Mythic Journey mission needs him to deal 10,000 damage in a single turn, and for the lulz I managed to find a 10,000 HP Karn in the arena, and I'm gonna try to see how much damage my Azrael with my full buffer team can actually do with Asmodai's help, so that he attacks twice in one turn. Now, I'm not expecting to win this game, but for the lulz, I'm gonna try anyway. So everybody is more or less in position. I expect Karn to rush out and end up on this hex, so then I will have to debuff him with Asmodai, bring Trajan in, which the AI is making difficult with that spore, but it still is gonna work. So that's this. Use Trajan's active. Now Azrael's basic attack will not benefit from it, but that's not a problem. I mean, it will not get the extra hits, but he's here for the plus 1000 damage per hit. Okay, so now Azrael looks like he would be dealing roughly 4000 damage to Karn if he doesn't block, which is okay, I guess. Use Asmodai's active on Karn. Oh my! Oh, that was very nice. I think there were some crits involved. And that's actually the mission done. Very, very nice. But now I don't have any arguments to deal with the rest of the enemies, really. Because this team just isn't built for that. There, kill the spore. There. Hopefully I can distract somebody, but I'm not giving myself a very high chance of winning this. Then again, if I burn enough ammunition, then maybe. So, like this, I can make a dent in Celestine's Gemini. She has the Ardent Blade, so she will be getting more on kills. And since my survival strategy is Spore, she will just be getting more and more and more. So it's probably better to remove Ragnar. No big... Okay, these spores are kinda small, so I don't need to worry about them. There. Nice, Eldrion is a goner. Yeah, I'm fucked. Boom, boom. Oh well. So that's how you can get Azrael's second Mythic Journey mission done at the cost of losing one fight in the arena. This probably cost me getting back up to Chapter Master. That's life. Mission 3. Deal 20,000 bolter damage with Azrael. Since Azrael deals bolter damage only to the second and further targets his active ability hits, this is basically repeating the first mission 10 times, because by strafing 7 grots in Mirror Octarius 44, you deal a little over 2000 damage. If you can line up bigger or more of grots, you can progress faster. Feel free to experiment just as I'm feeling free to skip the practical for this one. Mission 4. Defeat 3 enemies under the supercharged debuff with Azrael in one battle. The cunt who proposed this mission needs to get punched in the throat, and the ones who approved it need to enjoy testicular torsion and endometriosis at the same time. Let me explain why. Supercharge is the debuff Sarkyle places for one turn on the 3 targets he hits with his active, meaning you A. need to have Sarkyle, B. the bigger Sarkyle you have, the bigger the enemies you need to complete this mission, and C. since Sarkyle hits enemies in a V shape, you will need either Battle Fatigue or Asmodai to finish this mission. The stage you do this in will mostly depend on how leveled your Sarkyle's active is. If it's high level, you can try to take advantage of Terminator armor in Mirror Fall of Cadia like this. For the 4th Azrael's Mythic Journey mission, you need him to defeat 3 targets that have been debuffed by Sarkyle. And why that is complicated I tried to explain in the theoretical, so I will skip that now. And I'm experimenting with the Mirror Fall of Cadia stage 74 because that's the biggest Terminator stage in normal Fall of Cadia, and the Terminators here just about can survive my Sarkyle's active. Oh, I'm getting closer. This is something like my 5th run, and it's really not easy and not convenient because you need the Terminators to act in the right way to line up properly for Sarkyle's active, and then you need to be in range and stuff needs to happen. So okay, so now I have a trio of Terminators that I can not one-shot with Sarkyle and debuff them. Boom. Let's see if I can not screw this up. All of the 3 Terminators now have had their Terminator armor stripped, so that's good. And I think I see a way. So, I'm gonna position Azrael here. Now, Asmodai needs to make sure Azrael is the one who attacks a Terminator, and hopefully that will be enough to kill the Terminator. So the Terminator in the east is in range of Azrael, but out of Sarkyle's range. Boom, and that wasn't enough, fuck me. And now, assuming this Terminator is dead, Azrael's active aimed at this Terminator would strafe this Terminator, and that should kill him. Well, okay, probably needs a slightly bigger Azrael's active. But anyway, this is, I think, the best way to do this mission if your Sarkyle is, or your Sarkyle's active is level 35-ish, and my Azrael and Asmodai are also somewhere around this level region, so this should be possible in a few tries. Anyway, whoever designed this, kindly go fuck yourself, and I'm moving on. Alternatively, you can also probably do this in an LRE stage where you can bring Anshi to recharge Sarkyle's active, or an event with ability recharges in general. Do not strictly need the triple kill with Azrael in one turn. Mission 5. Deal 80,000 damage with Azrael while overwatching. The final Azrael's mission, luckily, is automatable, and I'll be more than happy to show you one way of doing that. The final Azrael's Mythic Journey mission is supposedly to deal 80,000 damage with him while he is overwatching, which, while a bit of a pain in the ass, should be automatable in a stage against Grots, and I'm gonna try in Elite Mirror Octarius 7 because I want to be farming the local upgrade. So let me experiment for a bit. I probably would recommend bringing in Dante to maybe take out the tanks, but it shouldn't really be necessary. Next up, you probably want Jaeger to be automating kills on grots that get too close. Now, Azrael is a given because he needs to be here, and since my Azrael is so small, I'm bringing in Kalgar to buff his attack. There. Okay, there is a slight danger of Azrael successfully killing all of the grots too early and of him dying. But I guess I'll have to work around that. So I want to lure a grot somewhere in this area. Okay, that's gonna work. There. Now I want to swap Dante and Isabella. That's gonna work. Now would be a good time to heal Azrael. And best keep him away for a bit. This is safe. The summoned grots will act first, so they have now reached Dante and will form a grot reservoir, which is what I wanted. Oh, I did a stupid and moved Isabella where I wanted Azrael, but it's all fine because I still need the grots one hex closer. There. Okay, and I think with this the stage has been automated. I'll just top easy off. Good, they can't quite kill Azrael. And as the grots begin to multiply and overflow their reservoir of swords, they will be making their path to Jaeger now, where Azrael will be able to fire at them. And with Kalgar adjacent, he will be one-shotting them for some 600 HP per shot. That means roughly a 130 grots killed, which you can have Isabella count. Okay, so I think that's the final Azrael's Mythic Journey mission kinda solved. So now I'm just gonna clear the stage and as usual, move on. There, will I at least get the upgrade from it? Nice, I will, cool. And that's how I will probably never get Azrael's Mythic Journey finished, because while the Dark Angels are a very well designed faction with great potential for beautiful plays thanks to their internal synergies, they are very low priority to build up, maybe with the exception of Sarkyle. They are not competitive in raids, and for PvP there are also more convenient or outright stupid broken choices when heroes like Karn, Carrion, Ragnar, Galgords or the Gene Stealers exist. I would actually really like to see a campaign event of the Dark Angels and maybe one of the more interesting to play, meaning not auto-face fucking everything, Imperial factions versus probably Chaos to make Asmodai at least tangentially useful. Why not the World Eaters? Well, who knows, maybe Snowprint surprises me in a good way for once. But for now I'm out of steam and you've made it to the end of this video, so it's time to thank you for watching it, and for a Kaurin out.